Hi, I'm Jordan from Kettner Creative. In this video, I want to show you how to use the Yorkville Paraline PSA1 top speakers and the Yorkville Paraline PSA2 dual 15-inch subwoofer. We film videos like this all the time. So if you want to learn more about sound systems, mixers, microphones, or event technology as a whole, please like and subscribe. Before we show you how to set up the Yorkville Paraline system, we're going to talk a little bit about what types of events this system is perfect for. The Yorkville Paraline system, and specifically the tops, they have a 120-degree wide throw. So that means that the sound comes out at 120 degrees. Most powered speakers are 90 degrees wide and 60 degrees tall. This is 120 wide, and each box adds 15 degrees on the vertical. So this is really great for small festivals when you don't want the sound to bleed into the neighborhood or go out farther than it's supposed to be. It's also great for gyms that are inherently wide, and you don't want to be throwing sound up into the ceiling and letting it bounce around, creating all types of echoes. This is really great on focusing that sound for those specific types of rooms. We use these sometimes for wide ballrooms when the client specifically doesn't want 4 speakers spread across the front of the room. They only want the look of 2 speaker columns, but the room is 120 feet wide and 80 feet deep. These speakers are great for that. They can give that nice even coverage, especially for talking head. This tone sounds great, and you can hear everything that's coming from the podium. Another nice thing about these is that you can get 4 speakers of any configuration onto a single 15 amp circuit. If you're outdoor, we recommend having 2 subs and 2 tops per side of the stage. If you're indoor, we recommend 1 sub and 2 tops per side of the stage. And again, that's sort of for that 500 to 750 audience size. Indoor, closer to 750 in a wide, big ballroom. Outdoor, closer to 500, even with the extra subs. So yeah, that's really great. Power is always an issue at events, especially outdoor. So if you can get your power consumption down to just 2 15 amp circuits for your front of house, that's amazing. Other than that, it's a great kind of plastic body. These things take a beating. They're rented out all the time. So yeah, they're durable. Maybe not the best sound quality. They're definitely a tier below Yamaha, JBL, QSC, and definitely below some of the higher players in the space. There's some debate as to whether or not this actually is a line array, but I say the fact that you can couple 2 boxes on top of each other puts it in that category, especially with the wide throw and the narrow field. But yeah, that's that. So we're going to show you how to hook this thing up. When you first get to your venue, a couple things that you want to think about when you're setting up your sound system before you even unload the van. You want to look at the stage, and to set yourself up for success, you really want your speakers out in front of where any microphone will be. This usually means you want it just slightly ahead of the stage on the left and right side. This means that when your sound system is set up, say your speakers are here and I'm on the stage, the speakers should not be able to hear the microphone directly. You do not want your microphone in any position where it's out in front of the speakers, because then it creates a loop. The speakers make noise, the microphone hears it, which makes it louder, and it keeps going round and round. That's how you get that crazy feedback that's so annoying at events. So definitely with the way that you set things up, consider that. Also in your consideration should be where you want the mixer to be. Ideally, you always want the mixer out in front somewhere where you can hear it, where you can hear what's coming out of the speakers. That's not always practical. Sometimes you're doing sound for yourself on stage, and it's more convenient to have the mixer with you. Sometimes you have to mix side stage because you need constant communication with the band, and sometimes you just don't have power out where the ideal location would be, and you don't have enough extension cords or something like that. But just think about where you want the mixer, where the most convenient place is to control your input sources like your microphones and your speaker volumes. So first of all, we're going to power everything up. Actually, before we power everything up, we're going to talk about other pieces of equipment that you need to get started. So here we have 2 speakers, speaker pole, and the subwoofer. You also need a mixer. Here we have the Yamaha MG10, which is a great little 10-channel mixer. Microphone, however many microphones, whatever type of microphones you need. Some type of input cable for an iPod or laptop audio. You always want to play some sort of background music. Bunch of XLR cable. We're using colored XLR cable so you can follow kind of what I'm doing here. Makes it easier to see what's going on. But typically at an event you'd want black XLR cable. And then what we have here is IEC cable. These are the power cables that you need for the backs of the speakers. So working in the correct order here, we're going to power on the small mixer that we have in front of me. So we're just going to plug this in. Next, we're going to just look at the power light. You can make sure that it's on. Again, power is the biggest issue at events constantly. Like you either have bad power or the power is not plugged in yet for an outdoor event. So again, just confirm that you have power working at your mixer. And if you don't, now is the time to start getting on the phone. You don't want to have your whole sound system set up and then you're waiting for power. You want to get that ball rolling right away. Next, we're going to power up the speakers. So I like working in the order that the signal is going to flow. So I would go, the mixer's powered up. So next I'll do the subwoofers. One important thing when you're plugging in power for the speakers is you never want the speakers behind any type of power bar or anything like that. You can have a power conditioner, but you don't want anything with a surge protector. The surge protector and powered speakers generally will play games with each other. The limit will kick in, and then it'll allow a surge through the power bar, which the power bar will limit the power, and then you'll get the limiter kicking in. They kind of fight each other, we've noticed, and you just don't get the full power that you need. So what we use is we use these tri-taps. A lot of production companies use quad boxes, but you want free-flowing power. You don't want any type of surge protection. That's just going to play games with all your limiters on your sound equipment. We'll plug the IEC cable into the bottom speaker. Again, we're just working in the order that we're going to wire the signal cable. And with everything that you do, you want to be nice and neat and tidy. That's super important as well. We would never leave a cable just hanging like this. We always want it tucked back and taped down the back of the speaker. But for today, you don't want to watch me just taping cables, so we're just going to do it quickly. We'll plug in the last IEC cable. So one thing I wasn't really watching, but you definitely want to double check out all these before you power them on. You want them turned off, plug in the power, make sure the mixer's on, and then I turn them all on just to make sure that the power is working. Again, this gives you a chance to get on the phone before you do all the rest of your work. Make sure power is working, or somebody's working on getting you power if that's not your job. Get that ball rolling while you do other things. So we can see the power light here is on, so we have good power. Now we can turn everything off again. And now we'll plug in signal. So we have this yellow XLR cable. We'll take this out of the XLR input on your mixer. Whenever you're dealing with powered speakers, you want a mixer that has XLR output. Just makes your life a lot easier than having to add a TRS to XLR adapter. So we'll take this, we'll plug it into the subwoofer. When I'm down here, I'm just double checking the settings on the back of the subwoofer. The input mode is on line, and the input level is at the 12 o'clock position, which is exactly where we want it. We're going to use this blue XLR cable to come out of the subwoofer that we just plugged into, and it'll come into the bottom box. Come into here. It's plugged into the input there. We'll use this red XLR cable to come out of the link. There's only one spot left. The reason that you work in order again is just if you start from the console, then you can't get your cables going in the wrong direction. You're just following it. As you see here, if we're working in order, we've used up one of two XLR inputs already. So now there's only one left. So we know exactly where we need to plug the next one in. If you get out of order, it's possible to, wire the speakers backwards or something like that. Put that in there. So on these top speakers, a couple little options. We want there's an option here to click this low frequency button in if we have a sub. So we want to do that on both of them. They're already done. And the high frequency button we want pushed in. It has a note here that you want it pushed in if you have multiple arrays together. That just helps the sound couple a little bit nicer and gives you that even tone. So we're going to do that. And then again, just double check that the level is in the 12 o'clock position. So now our mixer is turned on, the speakers are turned off. So we can go ahead and turn the speakers on. Again, I like to always work in order, makes the most sense. If you do power on the speakers before you power on the mixer, you'll get a big pop, which is super terrible for the speakers, so don't do that. The next thing I like to do is quickly test that the system is working. So this is a good opportunity to play some music, walk around the room, make sure you have nice even coverage, there's no dead spots or anything like that. The speakers are pointed where they need to be, everything sounds great. These are the types of things that you want to be checking right now. So before we do that, we're just going to make sure that the master is up at this unity position. On Yamaha mixers, there's a little arrow. On other mixers, there's a 0 for unity or a U or something like that. So set your main output to 0 there. And then I'm just going to quickly play music for 1 second. I'm going to turn it up. So we have sound. I don't want to get in a YouTube copyright violation or something, but I would leave the music on for 2 or 3 minutes. I would take this time to walk around, make sure that you're hearing sound out of the top box, the bottom box, and the subwoofer. You want to make sure that the frequencies are all kind of sounding right. These do have built-in crossovers, so they should only do what they're supposed to do, but you want to make sure nothing like shrill is coming out of the subwoofer. You want it producing those nice low sounds, and you want the tops to be producing the higher frequencies. Next, just to finish this video up, we're going to plug in the microphone, because that's the next thing everybody wants to know about. So again, when you plug in the microphone, put it in the first XLR spot at the top. These things work in channel strips, left to right. Generally, I always plug my music in the far right and work my way left, and then I plug my microphones on the left and I work my way right. Before you do any sound, you want to make sure all the EQ is in the 12 o'clock position. Your auxiliary channels are turned down, it'll say aux there, and your pan is centered. Next, you'll turn your volume, which is at the bottom, all the way up to that unity position where there's an arrow. And then if you need any further volume, I adjust that with gain. So you always set this to be at the unity position, and then you bring up the gain to the level that you need it to work. And you can see there that it's working great. I'm going to turn that down. A couple little things is for vocals, if your mixer has a high pass filter, you want to turn that on. It's a little switch here. Sometimes you want to do a nice little low cut. Sometimes if your mixer has a sweep, you can do like a 400 hertz cut just to clean up the vocals a little bit. Again, very much depends on the environment that you're in. But generally, don't play with the EQ too much. Generally, if we get a phone call and somebody's all mixed up and their sound system's not working, they've just gone crazy with the EQ. Just leave it close to the 12 o'clock position. If you want to make a tweak that you think makes it sound better, go for it, but you definitely don't need anything big if your sound system is set up correctly where your speakers are out in front of the microphone and you're using the right microphone for the job. That's how you set up the Yorkville Paraline system, the PSA1 tops and the PSA2s dual 15-inch subs. Again, this is great for indoor, outdoor events, 500 to 750 people. The biggest benefit of this system is that nice wide throw that you get with these speakers. If you want to buy these speakers, we have links on where you can buy them in the description below. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments about what we've done here, please comment in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching.